Everybody, Captain Silvertooth here from Infographic News for Kids. Today is Friday, February 15th, 2019. Happy late Valentine's Day, everybody. Our mission is to inform the youth of all nations of the world being created for them to inherit. Our constitutional quote for today is the 17th Amendment of the United States Constitution, which reads, "The Senate of the United States shall be composed of 2 senators from each state, elected by the people thereof for 6 years. And each senator shall have 1 vote. The electors in each state shall have the qualifications requisite for electors of the most numerous branch of the state legislators." In my video on Tuesday, I asked you guys, why is the 16th Amendment important constitutionally? And when I did my research, it tells me that it's important constitutionally because it allows the U.S. government to collect income tax from all Americans, and the income tax allows the federal government to keep an army, build roads and bridges, enforce laws, and carry out other important duties. Now, we're in the news. I'm such a dork. This article was found on Infowars, and it is headlined, "Elderly German Couple Forced Out of Home to Accommodate Migrants." A German couple has been notified that they must vacate their apartment to make room for refugees who will soon be placed there. Klaus Roth, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name because he's German and it's kind of weird, but it's spelled K-L-U-A-S-R-O-T-H. He is 74. He has lived in his house or his apartment in the town of Neckardelfingen. I'm not sure how to pronounce that one either, but it's spelled Neckardelfingen. So he lived in the same house in the same town for 24 years and was stunned by the decision that he had to make. Quote, "I put a lot of money and work into the apartment," said Roth, who raised his 3 children in the home. "I completely renovated it on my own." Roth and his partner have been offered a replacement dwelling that is half the size of their current abode for the same cost. So if you have an extra house you're willing to give these people, why don't you just put the refugees in that extra house? Doesn't that make more sense? Roth has an extensive record of activism and service in the community, including volunteering to aid and welcome the refugees. Officials have decided to use Roth's 6-room, 150-square-meter flat and said that it would be perfect for a large group of asylum seekers. "We are under a lot of pressure and we need to take in more refugees. There is no way to say that we cannot accommodate them," said the mayor. Cities or towns evict tenants to accommodate refugees. It does not happen frequently, but it does happen and it is legal. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, this is my house. If you have spare houses that you're willing to put people in, why can't you just put the refugees in them? Doesn't that make more sense? I would end up being like, no, this is my house. You can find another place for them without trying to be rude. But we're going to move on. Walking robot, first to explore and navigate without GPS. Researchers at CNRS and at Aix-Marseille University were inspired by ants as they designed AntBot, the first walking robot that can explore its environment randomly and navigate home automatically without GPS or mapping. This work opens up new strategies for navigation in autonomous vehicles and robotics. So, vehicles and robots that can move on their own. I'd rather have a car that I can drive myself than a car that can drive by itself. Their extraordinary navigation talent relies on orienting themselves orienting themselves using the sky's polarized light and measuring the distance covered by counting steps and incorporating the rate of movement relative to the sun's measured optically by their eyes. Distant and heading are two combined pieces of information that allowed them to return directly to the nest. Okay, so why exactly do we need robot ants? We have real ants and they're disgusting. Why do we need robot ants? Like, what is the point and purpose in that? I mean, if it was a toy, that's one thing. But if it's like something that the government is using, I want to know why it's using it. Like, is it going to be a spy or something? Armed with this information, Antbot can explore and return on its own to its base. This article was also found on Infowars. So what you're telling me is more freaking robots. More robots. Looks like I'm just going to have to accept the fact that there's just going to be robots everywhere walking the streets. Next thing you know, you're going to see a trail of robot ants walking the streets instead of real ants. So, don't think I want that. The next thing you know, we're going to be seeing them robots like on iRobot just walking the streets. And everybody's going to be like, you're crazy if you think anything different about them other than the fact that they're cool and that we need them. I need to prepare myself for that. Moving on. This article was also found on Infowars, and it is headlined, Frat Boy Harasses Conservative Woman, Then Runs Away. A frat boy harassed Caitlin Bennett at the University of Akron, so she called his fraternity to see if they condoned Brian Butterfield's rude behavior towards women. Because what he did was rude and disrespectful and just why? A guy at Akron University asked Caitlin Bennett if she had herself at a Kent State party and then ran away. Caitlin was like, did you lie to me just so you can ask me that question? Did you just lie to me? Is it true that you just lied to me? Because he did lie, because at first he was like, can I have a selfie? And he said he was a fan. And then he like I said, he asked for a selfie and she was like, no. And then he asked for an interview and then she was like, yeah, okay, we can have an interview, and if this interview goes good, we can take the selfie later. But then he asked her that question that I'm not going to repeat because it's highly inappropriate, and why would somebody ask her that? Like, that's just not a question to ask somebody, especially like during an interview. That's not cool, man. But he asked her that question and then took off running, like literally running. There is a video on Infowars you can watch, and it literally shows him running off. First of all, why? Second of all, why? Third of all, why? Oh, wait, I know why. Because he just wanted something to post on his Instagram feed so people will scroll through his feed. Because he did that. He literally did that. So that just shows that you have to be rude and disrespectful to people just to get people to see your Instagram. I think not. We're going to move on because I do not like this. Like, that's just so disrespectful and it's just stupid. Infowars, this article was also found on Infowars, headlined this article with University celebrates Valentine's Day, so yesterday, with a Planned Parenthood fundraiser. Freshman and sophomore class councils at Ivy League school Cornell University are hosting their first ever Valentine's Gala to raise funds for a non-profit, a local non-profit. Cornell's Pink Gala, is what they called it, is set to be held on Thursday, which was yesterday. Is being advertised as a night of amazing foods, great performances by Cornell dance teams and a cappella groups, as well as good music, all to benefit an incredible cause. The tickets are being sold at $10 per person, with all proceeds going to benefit a local chapter of Planned Parenthood. Isaac Schorr, I'm not sure how to say his last name, but it's spelled Schorr. Spelled kind of strange, but I don't know how to pronounce it. He is a junior at Cornell, and he said that the two councils were completely inappropriate and extraordinarily insensitive. Brendan Dodd, another student who is the vice president of external operation for Cornell's College Republicans, said it's perfectly reasonable for pro-choice students to want to raise money for Planned Parenthood, but a body designed to represent the entire class ought to choose a cause that is less divisive. I mean, like I've already told you guys in past videos, I don't really understand why we need abortion clinics. Like, I don't understand why we need those, because if you're going to do it, if you're going to have sex without, like, protection, and I know this is a weird conversation, I know, but if you're going to have sex without protection, you should know that you're most likely going to get pregnant. So, making that choice kind of, like, tells you that you might end up getting pregnant and that you should just deal with it because you're the one that chose to have sex. I mean, it's not right to kill things that haven't even been born yet. They don't even know what life is, and they never will get to know if you just abort them. And I find it incredibly messed up why people would want to do that. That's like taking a baby skunk and cutting its head off as soon as it's born. Don't even know what it's there for. Don't even know that it's really alive yet. What its purpose is. It's just like that. And like, that's basically what they're doing. They are killing something that hasn't even had the ability to live, and that hasn't even like had the ability to live, and like it just makes me really sad, like why you would want to do something like that, especially to like another human. Like, it's just messed up. Like, you created that human. You should keep that human. You created it. It is your human. I mean, that's just my opinion. I'm sure there are so many people that are like, well, you're wrong for that. You're wrong for that. I don't want it. Pro-choice this, pro-choice that. Like, pro-choice. There it is, right there. You chose to have sex, and so now you have to deal with it. Like, if you weren't ready to have sex, why'd you have sex? Like, it's stupid, and it really makes me mad, so we're going to move on to this next article. This article was found on Drudge Report, and it is headlined, "Smoking cannabis," or marijuana, or weed, those are all what cannabis is, "in your teens is linked to depression later in life." Smoking cannabis in your teenage years raises the risk of depression and suicide later in life, says a new landmark study. Researchers from the U.S. and the U.K. have revealed that the drug could impair a child's brain to an extent, and it triggers mental disorders later in life, in your 40s, i.e. 40s. In the largest research of its kind, experts from Oxford University and McGill University estimated that over 500,000 adults in the UK and US could be saved from mental health disorders by avoiding drugs as a teenager. The teams have now warned that cannabis that is legal in several U.S. states so it's legal in many states in the United States, and it is used by millions of young people, and it is a significant public health risk with devastating consequences. They have urgently called for officials to make tackling the use of drug use a top priority. The number of people who are exposed to cannabis, especially in this vulnerable age, is very high, and I think this should be a priority for public health and mental health sectors, said Professor Andrea Caprini. So, it may be true that drug use does lead to depression and suicide, but I don't really think marijuana is one of them, because I just don't think that. I mean, it's not a drug that you take one time and then your body's and then you just need it all the time. It's addicting, but it's not as addicting to heroin and crack and cocaine and meth. It's not one of those drugs that you take it one time and then 2 hours later you're I need more. 2 hours later I need more. 2 hours later I need more and more and more and more and more. Those are drugs that control your body. I don't think marijuana is a drug that controls your body. Marijuana may affect some people this way, but I don't really see it affecting everybody who's done marijuana this way, as much as I've seen on news and reading articles about it, that meth and crack and cocaine and heroin, all of those, you inject it into your arm and then your body's I need some more. I need some more. And it controls you. Marijuana, I don't really see it doing that. It just makes people get a little bit high. It doesn't control your body. And I don't really think we should be doing drugs. I don't really think that if we are going to do drugs, we should let it control us. But I don't really see why we need drugs. For one, they're not healthy. For two, some of them control you. And for three, they're just bad. And they cause problems for you. And this may be a cause that marijuana does. But I don't really think it is. And I've already said that a few times. But that's my opinion. Some people may say it controls them and makes them think these thoughts. Because some drugs do mess with your head. You'll be sitting on the couch one day and you'll be I need some meth. And then you take the meth. And then next thing you know, you're super duper high. And you're doing stuff that's stupid. And that I can see. But I don't really see marijuana leading to depression or suicidal thoughts. But I don't really know. It may control people and it may lead to depression, but I'm not very sure. I don't honestly think it is going to, but again, that's just my opinion. I haven't really done much research on it, so that is something I'm going to research. But that is all the news I have for you guys today. I hope you guys have a wonderful Friday, because it is Friday. It's Friday! Woo! Woo! I'm gonna work. Dance with me. It's Friday, Friday, gotta get down on... No, don't sing that. That song is annoying. But it is Friday, so be happy. Our constitutional question for today is, what was the problem with the 17th Amendment? The Bible verse for today is from John. It is chapter 3, verse 16. For God loved the world so that he gave me and us his only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life. So God loved us so very much, he gave us his Son, Jesus, to forgive us of our sins, and whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life. Here is Hambone the Hilarious here with us for another joke. What's our joke?
How did the vacuum die? 'Cause it bit the dust.
I'm gonna be honest, that one I didn't really understand, but I guess because like it got so much like stuff in it. I was gonna say because it got unplugged, but that he comes up with the cutest jokes. Some of them aren't always funny, but that one was cute, but I didn't really get it. But that's probably why it makes it funny. Most jokes you don't get, it always makes it funny. But that is all I have for you guys today. Hambone the Hilarious just dashed, so we didn't get to say bye, so I'm going to say bye for him. Bye! From Hambone the Hilarious. And that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you like, comment, subscribe, share. Leave questions in the comments, leave jokes in the comments, leave anything in the comments that you want. You can give suggestions because I love hearing from you guys. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, and I will see you guys in my next video. But for now, Captain Silvertooth signing out. Bye, guys.